if you're being raised if you're raising a child in a single parent home, what are you doing to ensure that they're not being raised to be a soldier in the gender war? Meaning that they're actually you're raising them to work in cooperation with the opposite gender and just not by themselves. That's, I mean, I don't know because I grew up in my parents were married for the majority of my life. Wait, no, not the majority of my life. For the because my father is deceased. But during the time when I was growing up, my parents were married. And right now, I'm raising a family. I have a wife and 2 kids. So my daughters are coming up within the confines of a marriage. So I'm not real sure, but welcome back to Money, Marriage, and Media. I'm your host, Mike, and today we are with the Lapeef Experience. What are you teaching your children about marriage? This is how this relates to the channel is I often say one of the social constructs that's broken in our community is preventing us from repairing it and building and moving forward is the way we raise our kids. Another one is our concept of marriage. So kind of obvious why we're here, right? Let's go ahead and see what we got.
How you always be like, hey, anybody want to add and then go straight into it?
I know. I gotta. I'm sorry.
That's rhetorical. Like, anybody want something from the store? Bye.
I'm sorry.
Thanks. Hey, I'm going to the store. You want something? All right, I already went to the store. Bye, bro. Bruh.
I ain't got no money.
That's true. That's true. I thought this video was so cute, so I wanted to share, okay? And just get you briefly.
I love looking at this video because this is something we talk about a lot in relationship and marriage. This is Tiger's son, and you see mannerisms that he's picking up from his father. Yes, some of his strokes are the same, probably because he actually taught him, but some of these other things that you see, his walk, his stride, rubbing his nose, are things that he picked up from observing his father over time and being with him. And the same thing happens in relationships. Your children are watching you in your marriage every day. How do you speak to one another? Are you respectful, disrespectful? Are you nice? Are you critical? What are you teaching your children about marriage?
That's
Man, I love that.
Isn't that beautiful?
I love it. Can I tell a quick story? Just real quick.
That's a good point.
I was at work and the alarm went off on the front door and my son is walking out, right? But I'm looking at the camera and I'm like, shit, I'm here at the office. The bastard has my walk, the whole mannerism, walking down the stairs. I was like, wait a minute. And his car pulls out and I'm like, okay, this is an old video. I thought it was an old video feed of me. It was nuts. I was like, wow.
Why you call him a little bastard, though?
I can call him what I want. I got to tell you, he goes to school next week. I want to share this with you guys. I'm going to share it with the world. Y'all, I didn't know it would be like this. Next week, I'm taking him off to ECU. And I don't really want to.
So don't.
Shouldn't hard to pay for. What?
Go to school online.
Listen, it's so funny. You'll get over it. Like I was the same way when I first dropped. When I first dropped my son off, I'm talking about. I did not want to leave Boston. I was in the airport.
Y'all know y'all old. Y'all old, right? Damn, y'all got college.
He's a junior. I'm like,
age kids. Y'all old boy.
The toughest thing for me is, did I give him the tools?
You gave
to
him
navigate as an independent adult. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, and this speaks to that's a fear that every adult has. Not every adult, every parent has. I'm a father too, and it's my children are still young, and I'm concerned about that. So I don't think that ever goes away. I just think well, I don't know. I don't think it goes away though. I think you're always going to have that concern in the back of your mind. The question becomes are there things you can do to mitigate it? I don't know. Let's keep going.
Did I give him enough to where he's going to be just fine? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think through sometimes, like, damn, that's a lesson that I learned in college. Should I tell him that? Should I give him these little nuggets? You know what I'm saying? Or did
But
I give him those little nuggets already? It's
so
anyway. I
AP,
just want to share that with you guys.
One
I
thing
I love giving people their flowers when they're due, right? You've talked so much about the relationship you've built with your children that even if you hadn't, you've built enough trust with them that they will come ask you, right? So your son will do just fine.
and
That's a big thing. Yeah.
I appreciate that.
never stop, because I'm in conflict with this clip that I saw yesterday where it was giving out the 4 phases of parenthood, and it said after 18 you're your child's friend, and I'm in conflict with that. Just as a Nigerian, I'm a conflict
No,
with it.
as an American, I disagree with that. I can relate that to my own story, because in some ways, when I was 18, I was there was the level of the relationship that I had with my father changed a little bit. Like, I was still his son, and he was still, my father, to be, respected. But I got a little bit more leeway with him. But I think that had more to do with my maturity level and less to do with my age. Like, there were things where he wasn't as, I don't know. I'm not sure how to describe it. It's just he gave me more leeway to make my own decisions, and excuse me, because of that, it's like I earned a level of respect with him that I couldn't have gotten as a child or as a younger child. Because it's 18, I don't think you're honest opinion, I don't think you're an adult at 18. I don't consider that it just being a grown up. I get it. You're legal, and that whole thing. But honestly, I think adulthood should be defined by the amount of responsibilities that you have, not just, you having a birthday. And I think that, well, you know what? Let's keep going, and I'll say that for the end.
But what I will say, the one stage that I do understand you need to be as a parent, you always need to be a coach. So even if you decide to be a little bit more their friend, don't ever stop being their coach. We do this thing in America where we think because a kid's 18, they no longer need direction and or won't take it.
No.
I am 36 years old, and my father still unsolicited coaches me. Okay, so never, and I'll be lying if I say, well, damn, I didn't really think about it like that. His wisdom is my benefit. The things that he goes through in a daily life, the things that he learns in his daily life, I use to my benefit, so I don't have to go through the same thing. Your son can always benefit from that type of mentorship, that type of direction. So don't do that thing. I see so many parents do it like, oh, I'm free. Well, free from what? Free from what? You see what I'm saying? Never stop that coaching role.
Yeah, I definitely don't. I'm not taking that approach, but it's really, did I give him the tools that he needs to start this phase of his life right, and will he be able to adjust? Because I know for the last 18 years, guess what? All he's known is pop, right? Now there's no pop. Can't go to mama. I mean, you can go, like, you can call, and he's gonna be 4 hours away. So it's, bro, like, you gotta learn.
He's got like a bad connection going on. If I had to guess, I would say his Wi-Fi is low. I don't know. We're gonna try it. We got to muddle through this. Muddle through this though, because this is almost over.
Learn this time management thing that I've been trying to push for the last 2 years. Did I beat that on you enough? Did I beat it on you enough that, hey, this is how you introduce yourself. This is how you go out and be sociable and approachable. And this is the best communication tactic. Like, it's so many different things that you don't think about, or that you may take for granted as an adult because of what you've already gone through. And to me, did I give him enough, right? And that's my biggest thing.
Fast, AP, your mic sounds like that thing from Star Wars, that little machine from Star Wars.
There's a whole bunch of machines from Star Wars.
You remember in the 80s, the little machine back in the 80s? It's like,
C3PO sounding ass.
Yeah,
C3PO.
yeah.
what was the little thing called?
C3PO.
That was the last one I seen.
Is that the gold one?
The little, I'm talking about the 80s.
Or
not
the R2D2
Oh no, that's
one?
R2D2. Yeah, R2D2 is
That is
Said
good.
gold on. That's Power
All right.
Rangers.
I'll be right back.
No, the
No,
gold,
I'm
the
talking about
got
the
eyes.
1980s Star Wars.
CP3P. Yeah, okay.
Here-
I was
here's-
gonna say to
Okay.
AP, even though he's working on his audio stuff, the only way you're gonna find out is by your son getting out there, and that doesn't mean it's it, Yeah.
He's gonna be fine. We all go
For
through that
sure.
as parents. Who
The
send
fact
our
that
kids out.
I'm not a parent, but the fact that you're even asking this question is enough, to know that like you instilled a lot and you were there. And yeah. But I also wanted to add too that with the video with Tiger, which was so cute, that we do have this thing called mirror neurons. So when you see someone do something, especially your parent, you exhibit those same things. It's baked into our biology. So
Real quick, mic check, mic check. How do I sound?
You sound
It's
good.
a little bit better.
Normal.
Hold on, I can't even fix this
I
on my
thought
own.
the video was so awesome. When I saw it, I watched it over and over because I just thought that's such a beautiful thing. And then whoever put the little compilation together, they did it so.
the music too, which is good.
Oh, okay. So we didn't really get to the topic here. It's kind of clickbaity, the title, because I was hoping that we were going to discuss what being in a marriage actually does for your kids. I think that ultimately one of the problems in our community is the single parent rate. And a lot of times that generational curse gets continued over, it gets perpetuated because we grow up in these single parent households and we think that's normal. When in this country, it's actually not. So a lot of times those are the relationships that we seek out, or a lack of a relationship is what we seek out. And it's okay to just have a child by yourself and you can do it, when the reality is that the majority of the time when you're growing up in a single parent household, you're in survival mode and you're not thriving. See, I think that we've seen so much of it in our community that it has become, we think that we're thriving because we're making it. But as I've told you guys before, if you watch the Money playlist, the average man does not make enough to make it to the end of life through retirement. Yes, you're surviving, but there's supposed to be more than just survival. That's where the idea of you're going to combine two incomes to make a way to build a family, and it's a way of carrying on a legacy that extends beyond your own lifetime. Again, it's these social constructs that's holding us back. The way we raise our kids, the concept of marriage, and there are two others too. But I was hoping that we got more, discussion from our panel about those two things in particular. Because if we're raising our kids, if you're raising a child in a single parent home, what are you doing to ensure that they're not being raised to be a soldier in the gender war? Meaning that they're actually you're raising them to work in cooperation with the opposite gender and just not by themselves. I don't know, because I grew up in my parents were married for the majority of my life. Wait, no, not the majority of my life. For the because my father is deceased. But during the time when I was growing up, my parents were married. And right now I'm raising a family. I have a wife and 2 kids. So my daughters are coming up within the confines of a marriage. So I'm not real sure, but it is a question that we do need to find an answer to. But guys, let me know what you think. Remember that channel membership is open, and there is exclusive content that's only available to members. So you may or may not see it come out on YouTube. There's a big chunk of it that's just not gonna come out on YouTube. Now I'm just gonna say it. So that's why you need to join, right? But anyway, guys, I'm gonna say goes to the next time. Peace.